Macca's Guides.
Hey, what's up guys? Mackie here playing Titanfall 2. In this video, I'll be showing you how to get the Becomes the Master achievement / trophy. By default, you'll also unlock the Student. Now, to attain this, we're required to place in the top 3 of the Gauntlet scoreboard in the Gauntlet, which is part of the training mission, and this requires us to get a time lower than 33.65 seconds. Step 1 is absolutely your loadout. Number one thing you're going to want to do is go to the shooting range and find the hidden EPG weapon at the top of the ring. Next up, for your secondary weapon, you're going to want to use the R201, and you're going to need to have EMP grenades. Now, the first run you're going to see here on screen is in real time, and it's going to be at 33 seconds. The second replay I'll show you is a faster time, and we'll slow it down. I'll go over every little nook and cranny. I'll start off by saying that this is a very difficult achievement. For a lot of people, this will be very reminiscent of the Mile High Club from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This requires you to have a completely flawless run in a pretty long section that lasts at least 30 seconds. Luckily, if we fail at any time, we can quickly restart the gauntlet though, which is pretty good. In order to stand any shot at getting this time, you're going to need to have pretty flawless aim, as well as really good running and chaining abilities in terms of your movement, so that you can keep a high speed. Now I'm going to show you my better run and slow the gameplay down to half, explaining every little thing. At the start, you have to wall run off the left side and jump to the right side in order to quickly accelerate. Then keep jumping off the walls in order to keep accelerating and going faster and faster. Throw an EMP grenade near the middle of these 3 enemies while hanging off the wall, and then jump towards the small gap, throwing a second EMP grenade underneath. As soon as that happens, slide and shoot. As soon as you hit the enemy, double jump onto the wall and hit the 2 enemies while wall jumping, wall running, and jumping between walls. Then load your next EMP grenade to hit all 3 of these enemies, hitting them near the back to make sure to get all 3 of them. As you're wall running, switch to your EPG and bounce between these walls and kill all 3 enemies. The less you bounce between the walls, the more you'll be able to maintain your speed. So I jumped a little bit more often than you need to, but it helped me get the shots I needed to get. At this point, you'll need to jump forward and then use your second double jump in order to jump to the right-hand side, hitting the first enemy while in the air, and then chaining into a wall run to hit the last enemy, and then bouncing to the finish, sliding if you need a little bit of extra speed. Now, even with these tips and tricks, this strategy will still take you a lot of tries. For me, it took me almost an hour. We're going to watch the faster replay again here, but this time at full speed. So you're going to bounce off the left wall and off the right wall using your EMP to get these 3 enemies jumping towards the gap, grenading under, sliding and shooting, jumping onto the wall to chain your wall run, killing the 2 enemies on the ground, and then throwing another EMP to get the 3 in the middle. We'll switch to our EPG to get the 3 in the long haul, and then switch back to our R201 as we approach the last 2 enemies. We're going to wall run and then jump forward and to the right, shooting the first enemy in the air and the last enemy while wall running, chaining our wall run to the very end, making sure to keep our speed, and sliding if we need a little bit of extra push. Now, even with all these tips and tricks, this achievement and trophy is still extremely difficult. There are a lot of things that can go wrong. If you accidentally grenade yourself with the EMP, you'll significantly slow yourself down and possibly completely end your run. If you throw a bad grenade, you might miss an enemy, and if you miss an enemy, you get a 2-second penalty. On top of that, there's some really difficult sections, including the section where you jump towards the small gap at the beginning, and the points in which you have to kill the enemies while wall running with the R201. After watching this video, you should have everything you need in order to get a good enough time for this achievement or trophy. It just comes down to practice, 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 and if you have enough skill. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, drop a like and share it with a friend. Special thanks goes to DocCupcake84 for supporting the show on Patreon, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.